YouTube fandom community, Kiss fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we are here today to talk about one of my favorite albums by Kiss, Unmasked, released May 20th, 1980 through Casablanca Records. An album that I feel like has unfairly gotten this credit over the years of being one of their worst albums or something that's meant to be overlooked or tossed off. I feel like this album never gets the due that it deserves, and even from the band themselves have been pretty dismissive of this thing over the years. The only songs that have actually made it through their live set list since this album came out has been Shandy. I mean, when this album came out, they played some of these songs live, but since then, pretty close to nothing, and Shandy pops up when they were in Australia because it was a humongous song for them down there. This album did really well for them in other parts of the world, but back home in America, hit number 35 in the charts, which for Kiss was like commercial death. It was their worst selling album, chart-wise, since Hotter Than Hell. It went gold, but it never went platinum. So they had like 3 or 4 albums in a row that had been platinum. And it was right after Dynasty came out, and I think it's been well documented that people who were around at that time were just kind of kissed out. You know, by the time Dynasty came out, which was a huge album for them and a great album for them, they were everywhere, and I think people were just kind of like, all right, we get it. I think the novelty had worn off by that point, and I think they kind of see that themselves by calling the album Unmasked. You know, the whole reason why, not the whole reason why, but one of the biggest reasons why they were so popular is because of their makeup. It's a huge appeal. Is it a shtick or a gimmick? Yeah, of course it is, but it's also kind of like a mystery, which I guess mysteries can be a gimmick as well, but the album cover itself has like nothing to do with the actual album, whereas I feel like the other albums, some of their titles kind of give you a feel of what the album could be like. Maybe Unmasked means like we're taking off the mask and showing a more vulnerable side of ourselves. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm reading too deeply into it. Anyways, this album for me personally is in my top 5 of favorite Kiss albums. I love this album. I know some people hate this thing. Some people think it should have never existed. And like I said before, some members of the band also wish it never existed. But for me, this is Kiss nailing power pop. This is them doing like a Cheap Trick album, but as Kiss. And it freaking rules. I'm such a fan of this album. I can't wait to talk about it. Anyway, when Shandy came out, that was the lead-off single from this thing. Hit number 47 in the charts. Also, not the best showing for that as well. Did much better around the globe. Anyways, this album's so good. It opens up with Is That You, which is one of the best openers they've had in a while. It's just great riffs. The edge in Paul's voice is so cool. That super catchy pre-chorus, you are within the words you like. That whole part is so good. I wasn't singing the actual words. I was doing a bit of the melody there. But the tension, the verses, it's such a fun rockin' song. And the bass on it is really smooth as well. But, I mean, how can you deny an opener like that? It rocks. Come on, man. Shandy, up next. Classic pop rock jam. It's like if Beth was a rock and roll song. I love Paul's voice on this. The gentleness of it is fantastic. Excellent harmonies on the chorus. Just a classic song about self-realization and heartbreak and heartache and wondering what you're doing. But they nail it. It's got its own flavor unlike anything else they had done before that. And that's why I like this album so much. Not just for this song, but for this album in general. They're doing things they don't normally do. Which for me is always more exciting because it's boring to get the same thing over and over and over again. It gets predictable. It gets boring. This album is far from boring. Where I know a lot of people in the past have said it is boring. I don't think so. And then you get Talk to Me, which again, heck of a song. Ace brings this one out and plays most of the guitars and the bass on this one. But charged up jammer the whole way through. The key change near the end is a nice heightened sense of effect to keep the feel going of like the anxiety you might have meeting somebody. Just a good, happy, upbeat pop rock song. Ace's vocals sound fantastic. Then you get Naked City. Bass heavy groover on this one. I like Gene's bass playing. I know a lot of people kind of look down on that too, but he's got some really good riffs. And this one is definitely one of those. But his voice on this is great because he's not doing the demon voice. He's doing like a lighter voice. And in the chorus, he goes to places where it rocks a little bit more. But he does a lot of almost falsetto stuff, or he's almost trying to be Paul Stanley a little bit, which is interesting because, you know, a year before, I Was Made for Loving You and stuff, he's always said he doesn't like doing the whole do 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 But here in this song, I don't know, maybe because he wrote it, I don't know, but it's a great song. Cool anxiety, there's a good weariness on it. It could have been a good single, I think, if it was released as a single. And then side one ends with What Makes the World Go Round. Anton Fig starts this one, the drummer, because Peter Criss ain't on this thing. His picture's on it, and, you know, he's not playing on it. He only played on one song on Dynasty, too. Anton Fig was on that one as well, but I love the vocal melody on this one. The way it ascends to that smooth, layered vocal into a pulsing chorus. Excellent cymbal work on this one, too. Everyone is just locked in a groove on this track. They should bring this one back for live shows. This would be a really cool song live. Side 2 opens up with the classic track Tomorrow, which was a single in a lot of other countries. It hit number 70 in Germany, fun fact. It's a cool song. The chorus is so catchy. Tomorrow, we're gonna fall in love, fall in love. It's classic Paul, and I feel like if the production was different, it could have easily fit on Love Gun or something. Like, this song could have totally been the Tomorrow and Tonight of Unmasked, if you will. His vocals on this song are like, tough guy, has a sensitive side kind of feel, and that chorus is just so catchy. But like, overall as a song, I don't see it as a single because there's elements of it that just don't have the punch that a single would have the whole way through, but it's a pop rock classic for sure, hands down. Up next, you get Two Sides of the Coin. And look, I love Ace. I think he's great. Musically, this song is fantastic. The chorus is great. It jams out. It rocks. The whole song musically, I think, is fantastic, but the lyrics are god awful. So bad. Ace, if you watch this, I'm sorry, man, but these lyrics are not good. And I don't normally say things like that, but when you're rhyming glad and bad and happy and sad, it just sounds dumb. And look, I might get some heat for that one, but every time I hear these lyrics, I cringe. But the song picks up as it goes, and you got that excellent chorus. Two sides of the coin, is so good. And the drum bit in the middle, where Anton Fig does this, like, it's not necessarily a solo, but he goes down the toms. It's a very Peter Criss move, so I can see how people would have thought Peter Criss was still playing. It's a very Peter Criss trait. But, you know, I like how it fades out. It's a great rockin' track. I just wish anyone could have been like, hey, Ace, can we, like, change a couple of these words? Because then you would have had a freaking perfect song on your hands. Speaking of perfect, She's So European. I love this song. She's so European. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Like, that riff is so good. It's so catchy. I love the almost cheap trick synth that's going on in this thing. Bright poppy verses. This could have been a single for sure. And that bridge has that descending, chugging beat. Oh, man, I'm a sucker for this song. It's so damn good. Gene does an awesome vocal on this one, too. Easy as it seems, 'cause it's easy as it seems. Paul's voice on this, I love the drama. The drama on this one's fantastic. Another synth solo, but the staccato kind of guitar riff on this thing and the verses is great. The heavy hi-hat work on this thing is awesome. So it's got like a shuffly feel to it. It's just really, really cool song. And then you get Torpedo Girl, and Ace is redeemed because this song freaking rules. He plays the guitars and the bass on this thing, and that's a funky line. It's almost like if Walk This Way was underwater and drunk at the same time. It's a really wonky solo feel, but he nails it. And the chorus is so good. It's just so smooth and joyous and fun and just alive and electric. Torpedo Girl, such a good song, man. And then You're All That I Want as a classic Kiss closer, man. This is one of their best songs. It's got that big fist waving in the air at the concert. Cool breaks in the chorus. The bridge is classic rock perfection. I love how both Gene and Paul are audible together at the same time sometimes, and they're both yelling or going, yeah, in the background. It's just one of their best songs. I freaking love this album. Let me show you the back cover here. For some reason, I'm not sure if all copies are like this, but all the songs are in alphabetical order. They're not in running order. But the comic in the front is as exactly what you would think it is. It's a reporter trying to get a picture of Kiss with their masks off. And in the end, when they take their masks off, they're looking like that underneath the mask. So, haha, they got them. But I want to show you the this copy is unbelievable. I got this for $6. It's a complete package with the poster. This album, whenever I've looked for it, has always been like 30, 40 bucks for a used one, let alone a new one, which is also around the same price point. But this record's in great shape. It sounds fantastic, and it's got the original poster, which someone had hanging up at one point, so it's a little bit sticky from old tape, but I'll get it open for you. Oh, look at that. This poster is so freaking cool. Someone had this hanging up for a while, then put it back inside the jacket, and it's just in excellent condition. It's sharp and crisp. Nothing about it's tattered. It looks brand new. Awesome poster. And the original inner sleeve, just a plain black sleeve. And the record itself has the really cool custom labels for the album cover on the label itself. So there you go, Kiss Unmasked, one of my favorite albums from Kiss, something that I wish people would recognize more and listen to more and appreciate it for what it is, not compare it to other albums, because when you do that, when you walk in with this preconceived notion of like, I'm looking for Love Gun, you're gonna be let down. That energy, that drive, that hunger, that sort of spirit that they had at that time isn't on this album. Instead, you have a different band, because they're minus one original member, proving themselves in a different way. It's a really bare rock and roll album, almost raw in production, and a lot of people said that the guitars are stifled and they sound kind of like weak or in the background. I don't see that per se. I just see the songs themselves as really good pop rock tracks. This album is meant to be its own listening experience, kind of like The Elder. When you put The Elder on, you're not expecting Detroit Rock City. You want to hear I, you know? It's one of those moments. So like, separate yourself from the Kiss you remember from Kiss Alive. Put this thing on if you're a fan of The Cars, Cheap Trick, any sort of late 70s, early 80s pop rock. But this will have a slightly edgier experience to it because it's Kiss. So you take all those elements, have Kiss do it, and you get a hell of an album. This, for me, is a 9 out of 10. It's one of my favorite albums they ever did. I absolutely love this thing. Please let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Kiss Unmasked. My name is Giggens. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Kiss Unmasked. 9 out of 10. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. See you later.